My name is Katryna. I live in Brighton, which is by the sea, not far from London, and I've been living with an ostomy now for nearly 5 years. I have an end ileostomy. That means that the end of my ileum, small intestine, was used to make my stoma. I have no colon, it's completely gone. My bag changing routine is as follows. I like to get my template out and mark up my bag and cut it just before I change my bag. I like to cut my own bags because the ostomy can change shape, and so I like to be able to keep an eye on that and make sure that my template is correct for my ostomy. I then make sure that I have my dry wipes. I make sure that I have my ostomy removal spray. I then use the adhesive removal spray to remove my ostomy bag. And I then wash around the area to make sure I get all of the old adhesive from the mouldable ring that I had on before, make sure it's completely clean and that my skin is completely clear. I then dry the area, make sure it's very dry, and I get a piece of tissue and I wrap it around my stoma and spray on the barrier protection spray. I like to use that because I just find it helps keep my skin clean and clear. Because I have an ileostomy, the waste can be quite acidic and it can burn, and so that's why I like to use a barrier spray. Once I've put the barrier spray on, I like to make sure it dries because you need to have the dry skin before you can put the bag on. I then put a barrier ring, I take it out and I rip it and I make sure it's snug around my stoma. Not too snug, there needs to be a little bit of a gap, but I need to make sure that it's surrounding my whole stoma. And then I put my bag on top of that. I make sure that I press hard to make sure that it's completely sealed, that the adhesive is completely in contact with my skin. And then I press in the center where my stoma is to make sure that the bag is really connecting to the barrier ring so that that adhesive is nice and tight. Always do your bag up. One time I forgot to do the bag up at the bottom. I will never do it again. If I could give any tips to a new user on how to make their bag change routine simpler for them, I would suggest that they have all of the things that they need with them. So make sure that they know exactly what they need to have and they have it with them at the beginning. Make sure you've got all of your accessories that you need. Make sure that you've got your template, that it's all kept together in one place and it's easily accessible. Also, I would really recommend heat. I use my hands and I place my hands on top of the base plate and leave it there for a few minutes. My body heat helps the adhesive gel. Some people like to use a hairdryer. You're going to find out what's best for you. I would recommend most new users do their change in front of a mirror. Really get to know your body, get to know what your ostomy looks like, because that way, if you have any changes, you'll see them immediately. Once you've been doing it for a while, you could change your ostomy bag in the dark, no problem. But to begin with, do it in front of a mirror. It's really, really helpful. One thing that a lot of new ostomy users worry about is leakage. What I would say to them is, as long as you've got the right products, as long as your template is cut correctly, as long as you're doing your ostomy check, you shouldn't have to worry about leakage. If you've got the right products for your ostomy, you shouldn't have a leak. However, occasionally blips are going to happen. It's going to happen. Deal with it, clean yourself up, and move on. It's just food.